Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Talk podcast. One thing I've noticed about taking breaks from these things is whenever I have to get back into it, for some reason, I always have to talk myself into getting back into it. Like today has been such a busy day that I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just push it off for one more day. And then I was like, no, I need to keep up with my routine and up with uploading my episodes when I want to. Today's currently Tuesday. If you know, you know. We're recording the day before posting. I feel like that's just per usual. One day, I swear I will get onto a better system with this, but today clearly is not that day. Today has been super crazy. I feel like this morning I woke up and I was super flustered. I was trying to mentally prep my day in my head, and it was just getting me all flustered and whatever. Today's basically half over and I still feel like there's so much to do, but a big chunk of the day is done with, so we can cross that off our list. I'm probably just gonna get right into this episode. First, streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere you want to stream your podcast. Or we are here on YouTube, Girls Gotta Talk podcast. It has been audio only over here for some time now. I don't even have a time of when that'll change, but still uploading everything over there audio wise. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to change that super soon. But anyway, you could still subscribe, join the fam over there if you want to. But in this episode, I feel like I just wanted to kind of sit and chat with you guys. We're just going to sit, relax, talk about the last 2 weeks, where I've been, what's been going on, background things, just because I literally haven't posted an episode in 2 weeks. The first week, I'm trying to think of what even happened then. I don't know why I didn't post that first week. I'm not gonna lie, last week I was so into the World Series that I just didn't record. I literally did not take the time to sit and record an episode. The sad thing is, I don't know about both weeks, but I know one out of the 2 weeks that I just missed, I had episodes planned. I literally just had to sit and record them, and I never got around to sitting and recording them. So I know I skipped 1 week, and then the next week I was like, we're just going to take a 2-week break here. We'll regroup, recollect with myself, and get back into sitting and recording. So like I said, today's Tuesday. So this past Saturday, I think I sat and brainstormed a bunch of podcast things the entire day. I felt low-key so productive that day, but I planned out the whole month of November. I'm starting to plan things I want to do in December, some extras for you guys, some December episodes, topic-wise, and all that stuff. So to say that I am prepared for the most part for the next 2 months, so we're already in November. So this month and the next one is crazy to me. I love it. I need to stay on board. I feel like the part that I mess up all the time is I don't keep it going. I just rely on it almost. And then by the time I get to the end of December, mid-December, I'm oh, everything I planned is now coming to an end. I still need to plan. And then all of a sudden I'm oh, I guess I got to take a week break because I didn't keep up with my stuff. That eventually should be over soon too, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, like I said, I feel like I just wanted to sit, chat, update, talk, relax type vibe today. Or for this episode, this morning I had to go to the bank because yesterday on my way to work, I got a text from this fraud thing through my bank. Because I guess if you make purchases, places you never really make purchases or you've never purchased before, my bank automatically red flags it. They're oh, potential fraud. Like, you don't shop here, you don't go here, you've never been here. Is this you? Type of situation. So I was on my way to work yesterday and I got a text from like the fraud thing asking about a purchase. And of course, like looking at it, I was like, that wasn't me. So it was like, reply yes if this was you, no if it wasn't, type of thing. So I responded with no, which automatically shut down my card. Like, it put it on like a temporary block thing. But because my card potentially like tried to get hacked, they automatically are like, okay, your card's not active anymore, you have to get it replaced. Go to the bank this morning because yesterday I did not have a debit card all day because it got turned off in the morning and I worked all day, so I did not make it to the bank. And yeah, so yesterday I just didn't have a debit card pretty much. So went to the bank this morning, got a new card. My bank actually like switched names, so I had to go through this whole thing because not that it was crazy, but I have to like download their new app because of the new name. They have a whole new, it's like the same app just with a different name. So I feel like it's kind of annoying, kind of like, I get it, you're changing over, like you want all your stuff to match. Totally understand, but it was like the same setup. Like, you log in and it's the same thing that the other app was, just with a new name. So I had to go through that because I couldn't even see any of my things in my account with the old app. Like, it wouldn't even let me log in. So I had to go do that. I had to activate my card, yada yada, whatever. But I was like trying to plan it in my head because, so I worked only until 3. I only worked a short shift today, so I'm already out of work. But I knew I wanted to sit and record this episode at some point today. And I was like, after work is probably my best bet. I'm sitting in the car outside and it's getting kind of windy. I hope you guys can't hear it. If you can, I'm so sorry, but it is so nice out today. It's like 70 degrees again in November, which honestly is kind of crazy. But with how cold it's been, like, I like this type of weather. Like, it still is like fall vibes, so I'm loving it personally. But I'm so sorry if you guys can hear the wind. But I figured right after work would be the best time for me to sit and record this episode, so that way at some point tonight I can just edit, get it prepped for uploading because I want it up tomorrow, like all that stuff. But then I was like, when am I going to go to the bank? Like, maybe I can go to the bank after work. But I have a meeting at my son's daycare today at 5 o'clock. And from my work to the closest bank that I have was like a 30-minute drive. And like in my head, I was trying to think, and I was like, oh, if I leave, I was like, it takes 30 minutes. It might take a little longer because I'm going to get stuck behind buses by the time I get out of work, and I'm going through all these back roads. Forgetting that today was election day, and in the town that I work in, there's no school. So I wasn't going to get stuck behind any buses, so I probably could have gone right now, but I kind of like the way I planned it better, going this morning, going to work. Now I'm going to record this episode after probably have to meet Julian at the daycare so we can go to this meeting, and then honestly, the night's just going to kind of go how it goes. After JJ goes to bed tonight, I'm probably going to end up editing this episode. So like, I have some time frames in my head, but it just felt like so much was happening today that, I don't know, this morning when I was thinking of it all and I was talking to my dad, because he was like, why are you up so early? Like, I had to get up a little earlier to be able to go to the bank before work. I just felt so flustered, but we have it all figured out for the most part. Like I said, it's already, what time is it? 3:45. So a big chunk of today is already done. So that's like a huge weight for the most part off my shoulders, but basically all that's left is kind of the easy stuff. There's not as much running around as I felt like there was this morning, so we're doing good. We're doing okay. But yeah, so anyways, these last 2 weeks, besides today being crazy, these last 2 weeks have been super insane. It felt like I was driving to work one day. This is kind of what started the last couple weeks. I was driving to work one day and I was on the phone. Yeah, not that I'm trying to say it's a good thing, but I had to make a phone call. Talking on the phone and driving. I had it hooked up like to my car, so I wasn't actually like holding my phone, if that makes it better. Anyways, I was making a phone call, and I'm like driving, and I knew something was wrong with my car because it had started acting weird like a day or two prior. But I drive 40 minutes to and from work now, so driving along the highway and everything, I feel like is extending my car a little more. So now by the time I'm driving, it's just honestly probably getting worse. So I start going and I'm like almost to work, but my check engine light has been on because of like the problem that was my car was having. But it started like blinking, flashing. It was making noise. It was going crazy that I had like never heard this before. And I was like, what the heck is going on? So at this point, like I knew my car was like slowly breaking down on me. And I'm really, really scared of breaking down on the highway because I feel like the highway that I have to take every day, there's not really like a good, not that you want to break down on the highway anyways, but there's not a good place on the highway to break down. Like there's not really a breakdown lane because the highway's like kind of super small, if that makes sense at all. But yeah, so like now I'm getting nervous. It's like I don't want to break down on the highway. Like who am I gonna call? Who am I gonna call to fix it? Who am I gonna call to like pick me up? Like what am I gonna do with my car? Like now all this stuff is going through my head. I made it to work, made it home, and at this point, like I'm just telling my mom because she has to go like 5 minutes up the road to work, where I have to go 40 minutes down the whole highway to get to work. So I told her that if we could switch cars, that would help a ton. So we switched cars for like a week. She was taking it because it, like I said, the way I was going, it was like kind of outstretching my car compared to the drive she would have had to take. So I ended up taking her car. My parents ended up taking my car to a mechanic shop to get it looked at, see what was like supposed to be fixed, how much it was going to cost, yada yada. And by the time my parents brought in my car, it was like the middle of October, but they said that the earliest they could get was like, I think it was actually supposed to be today. Today's date is November 5th. Today was the day my car was supposed to be fixed, and I took it into the shop like 3 weeks ago. So I was like, how the heck am I supposed to wait 3 weeks for my car to get fixed? Like, how am I supposed to be doing anything here? Like, I'm not gonna have a car. So I ended up finding someone to fix my car for me without actually bringing it into a shop. So I paid for parts and then I paid him to fix it. Obviously, much cheaper than the mechanic shop was going to be charging me. So super thankful, grateful for that. But yeah, like I had to wait for him. Like, obviously I wasn't going to be like, I need you to come do this now. Like, he made the time to come and fix it one day. It took him like 2 hours. I wasn't even home when it happened. Like I was at work, so I just had to like basically get the bill. Like once you were good, like send me the bill, let me know how much I owe you. I Venmoed him some money, got that taken care of. So that started that. But in the process of taking my mom's car started to have an issue as well. So here I am using my mom's car, so I wasn't stretching my car all the way down here and potentially breaking down on the highway. I get to work one day. As I'm getting to work, I was like, I don't think my mom's car is okay. Like nothing, it doesn't seem right. If you know me, you know like this is just me. Like any car I feel like I'm in ends up breaking down. That's just my luck with cars. That's the amount of times I've broken down in cars. Like I just hate cars at this point. Like I don't know. So I get to work. I go on my lunch break and I'm sitting in the car because I was sitting outside. It was a nice day. I was like, I'm going to sit outside in the car for lunch, roll down the windows, blah, 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 whatever. I'm sitting in the car and all of a sudden the car just like the radio just shuts off. Like it just black screen completely shuts off. And I was like, oh, that's probably not good. Like if the car is running, like why is the radio off? You know what I'm saying? So then I was like, oh, yeah, that's probably not good. So it turns on. Every light on the dashboard turns on. Every single light you can imagine comes up on the dashboard. And I was like, Now I'm nervous. Like, am I going to have to drive this home? Like, what is going to happen to me? What I was scared of happening in my car is now going to happen in my mom's. It's not going to be good. So then it does it again. The radio cuts out, blah, blah, whatever. So then I called my dad and I was like, so the radio keeps cutting out. Every light on the dash is on, blah, blah, blah. And my dad was like, yeah, her battery is probably dying. And I was like, oh, literally fantastic. Like, just what I wanted to hear. So I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have it running and be sitting in it then. And he was like, yeah, no, probably not. So as I go to roll up the windows are barely rolling up. Like, they're like stuck. They're going in super slow motion. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's dead. So basically, I drive my mom's car home. Like, I drive my mom's car to work. Battery dies. We have to get it towed from my job to our house, which, like I said, is a 40-minute drive. And my brother had to come down to pick me up from work. So now I have a broken down car. My mom now has a broken down car. You can imagine how now this is going for me. Granted, that happened on a Friday. I was off Saturday, Sunday. So, like no timing for a broken down car is good timing, but I would say, if anything, that had to be decent timing. So, Saturday, I was stuck home because I wanted to go down to see my son, but, like, to watch him. His dad had to work, everything. I didn't have a ride. Like, I couldn't get a ride. No one wanted to bring me back down. My brother did not want to make the drive down again because then you have to bring it down and back, and then I'd have to figure out how to get home. I couldn't get a ride down. Sunday was the day someone was supposed to come and fix my mom's car, which they did. But, like, at this point, I was, like, determined. Like, I had to get to my son. Like, I hadn't seen him in a few days. His dad needed to work. Like, I was trying to make this situation happen. So I called my grandmother, asked her to come pick me up so I can go see JJ. And she was like, okay, what time do you need to go? And I was like, honestly, like, I'd prefer ASAP, but we were trying to time plan. So I was like, just let me know when you're on your way, please. But preferably soon, but, like, whenever you can type of situation. So she came, like, literally ASAP. So, like, bless, honestly. I tried to give her gas money. She didn't take it, but I was like, please, like, I'll give you gas money. Like, I'll pay you. Like, I just need to get down there. Whatever. So, moral of that whole thing, my car finally got fixed. My mom's car finally got fixed. We're all living in car world again, so. But in the meantime, I was like, this would happen. Like, one car goes down, another car goes down. I was like, God forbid. We're going to pray nothing happens to my brother's car, because at that point, he's the only person in the house right now that has a functioning vehicle. That was, like, I don't know, honestly, like, maybe a week and a half ago. Then we go, following week, we're entering the World Series. Yankees have not, like, they're not it sometimes. Like, if you're a Yankee fan, you know. Baseball is probably one of the only sports I completely, like, understand and follow. My dad grew up a Yankee fan, so I feel like that just made us all, like, Yankee fans. That's just what we grew up watching. That's, like, the team we knew. That's just what happened. One of my brothers branched out and decided he didn't want to be with anyone else, so he's, like, a Phillies fan, but, like, besides the point here. So, World Series time. We've waited 15 years for this as Yankees fans. For a potential another World Series title. But to say it's a sad time for Yankees fans is probably an understatement. It was a rough series to watch, if I'm being honest. Game 1. So, yeah, this had to be a couple of weeks ago. So, Game 1 was, like, end of October. I'm looking at the calendar. October 25th. We were in LA. First game, we lose on a walk-off grand slam. I'm just going to leave that at that. Honestly, there's not much to say. It was an awful time. Awful thing to watch. Awful, yeah. Game 2, October 26th, still in LA. Another loss. I think that one was like 4-2. 4 to something. I forget. what the actual score was. Game 3, we come to New York, October 28th. At this point, like, if you're a Yankee fan, you're just kind of watching and you're like, what the heck is going on? Another loss. So for now in this series, we're 3-0. We're not 3-0. We're 0-3. Dodgers are 3-0. At this point, it's one more win, and the Dodgers have swept us, won the World Series. Yeah. I didn't watch Game 3, to be honest. At that point, that's where I was kind of gone. And, like, part of me was like, I can't watch this. I don't want to watch this. They're going to sweep us. It's going to be awful. I don't want to see this. I think I was also, like, working or doing something, and I just didn't end up putting on the game, but I wasn't too upset about it, to be honest. Game 4, I don't even want to say redeemed ourselves. I guess you could say redeemed ourselves. We didn't end up losing in a sweep, so I feel like that's kind of a redemption. We did end up winning, came back with, like, a huge rally in, like, the 7th or 8th. I think it was the 8th inning. I know we had a bunch of errors. We had, like, 4 or 5 errors that game. It was kind of hard to watch, but at the same time, it was a win. So I guess we just got to take what we can get here. Yeah, so now it's 3-1 Dodgers in this series. I thought we were going to, like, come back, end up having Game 6. We were going to go to Game 7. It was going to be, like, a close call. Yeah, no. It ended quickly the following night. We had one good game, and that was it for us, I guess. Game 5 was the day before Halloween in New York. I think we lost by, like, a run. I think that was the game. It was, like, 7-6. They came back, kind of blew it. Well, Yankees kind of blew it. Dodgers came back. Dodgers won World Series 4-1. Yeah, it was a rough time. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched baseball in so long. I miss sports so much. I've noticed that I've missed sports so much that I've started watching, like, football this season. I'm not even, like, a football fan. I don't understand football. I could sit there and watch it, but, like, do I know what's going on? Absolutely not. I've started watching, like, football games. Like, I've just realized, especially after watching the World Series, I've missed sports so much. Preferably baseball, but, like, baseball's over now, so we'll have to wait until, like, March when, like, preseason starts. But I feel like I just miss sports. I need it back in my life. I don't know. I grew up, like, watching sports. My brothers were always playing sports. I was always at baseball games, like, always watching something that, like, now that I have nothing, I haven't watched baseball in, I would honestly say, a couple years. I could tell that's one thing in my life that I'm just missing, and it needs to come back. But yeah, I don't know. Like, watching the World Series just kind of, I don't know. It just did something to me. Like, I realized, I guess, a sports person. Do I understand most sports? Do I understand hockey? No. Do I understand football? No. I don't understand soccer. I don't understand anything really except for baseball. But at this point, I would just watch anything just to watch it, if that makes sense. But yeah, that was a quick World Series rundown. Honestly, that's why I missed last week. I'm not going to lie. I was so wrapped up in that, kind of high hopes, high expectations for the Yankees. Got a little disappointed, but here we are. But yeah, that was still part of this 2 weeks that I had kind of went MIA. I've also lately tried to plan, like, I want to post more on social media, kind of be more active on the Girls Gotta Talk Instagram. So I'm hoping to find things to get more interactive on there as well. But anyways, also within these next 2 weeks, I started a second. Okay, I don't know how to word this. So I started a second job, but I didn't really start it. I kind of went back to it. So before the job I had now, I had quit my last job, but I went back for 1 day a week, basically extra money. So I'm there 1 day a week, and then I'm at my current job 5 days a week. So I basically have potentially 1 day off every week now, but I'm managing to like try to stay on schedule, try to stay on life almost. I'm still seeing my son every night, trying to get him every night. I don't want to say that's also why I missed the last couple weeks, but usually I was trying to record. I try to record Sunday or Monday, honestly, to be prepared for Wednesday, because that's been my new uploading day. But now that I work basically Sunday through Friday, it's been throwing me off guard. I'm still trying to adapt to going back to my other job one day a week, but still having everything else within the day. Hopefully we'll get on a new routine, because it's been like 2 or 3 weeks that I've been back there. So we're still trying to figure it out, still trying to plan, still trying to see how the day goes. I don't have a set schedule for that one day I'm there, so I'd never know when I'm actually going to be working until my schedule comes out. So I have to wait for it to come out and kind of plan around that. But we're hopefully going to get on some sort of system, try to figure out when I need to record. I know when I want to upload. Like I said, everything for November and basically everything for December is kind of planned out on my computer. I use Notion. If you haven't used or seen Notion before, I highly suggest it. It's been kind of my saving grace with a lot of things. I have like a whole, just, it's not Word document, but like a whole blank space where I just plan episodes. I also have calendar versions of things, so I know what's getting posted when, social media calendar, like all that stuff in this one website. It's also an app, but like I said, been my saving grace. I highly recommend you using it if you need something to kind of keep your life all together. Yeah, I just love Notion so much. So within my calendars on Notion, that's where I've been planning everything. Like I said, like this past Saturday, I sat and just looked at the calendar and thought of what episode I wanted to record and upload when. So the next couple weeks, the next month, I have a lot planned. Like I said, I'm also trying to look for a little more something to be doing in December, like holiday season wise. We'll see what happens. But like I said, I do want to get involved back into Instagram and get you guys involved in everything that's going on with this podcast. But this next season coming up, I'm super, super excited about. Christmas, it has to be hands down my favorite holiday. So I'm super excited for that. All these holiday movies, like now we're transitioning from all the fall movies to all the Christmas movies. So that's a huge thing for me. I'm so in love with that. I cannot wait. All the holiday drinks are coming out. When I tell you, I wait all year for peppermint mocha to come out. You guys, oh my God, I don't know what it is. This is like a personal thing. I get almond milk in my coffees. I can drink it with like cream or like milk or anything, but for some reason I end up getting almond milk. So I get peppermint mocha iced coffee with almond milk, and it's chef's kiss. I love it so much. I should have gotten it for this episode. I was gonna get a coffee when I got out of work, because like I've been super tired today. I don't know what it is, but super tired. I haven't had coffee in like 2 days. I was gonna get out of work, get a coffee, and record this episode. I kind of just came straight to recording this episode, but now I'm gonna be craving a coffee. But now that peppermint mocha is out I know it's out at Dunkin'. Those came out in the beginning of this month. I don't know when Starbucks drops their holiday drinks, but Dunkin' is out, and I'm honestly more of a Dunkin' girly anyway, so that's all I care about, kind of. I think I've tried peppermint mocha at Starbucks. I don't think I was the biggest fan, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again this year. See how it is. See if it's what I remember, if I actually like it or not. But yeah, holiday drinks have been out. It's been honestly one of the greatest things. I love this time of year. I love September because it's my birthday month, so like I have to love it. But once October hits, like it's my favorite time of the year. October, November, December, hands down my favorite months. So now that we're entering November and we're getting into like the last quarter of the year, which is honestly kind of crazy to think about, but now that we're hitting the last quarter of the year, I'm so excited. Granted, these last couple crazy weeks are hopefully over, if not praying they're coming to an end. And we can get back on top of things, back on track with everything, start to build up some things. I'm honestly just so excited for hopefully like what's soon to come. But with that being said, that is everything I have for you for this little catch-up episode. I'm so sorry I've been MIA, gone, not posting for the last 2 weeks. But like I said, hopefully we're getting back on track with it all. So I will see you guys next week, back with a brand new episode. I love you guys so much. Bye.